Welcome to this channel. This channel is for culture and education based on both historical and scientific evidence. So those friends who do not want to face reality or the truth, please do not continue on watching this video. So yesterday I shared the video on the rectifying the misconceptions and mispractice of Wing Chun 1960's, particularly in the awareness and the handling of the hand, the yin and yang side, or the hard and the soft of the hand. And after that, there are many Wing Chun friends ask me on the Wing Chun kuit or Wing Chun writing, which exists today. Ask me to share what is my view on this writing, which is many people quote and also movie quoting it. So today I like to get into the uh, modern Wing Chun writing, which is uh, in general most people who look into the Wing Chun writing familiar with, and it is in the movie. Now, this writing, which I Google and search and found, is actually uh, very problematic. So again, this writing is uh, a misconcept. Now, of course, I'm going to share with you in details why it is a problem. This is a modern composed writing. The problem comes in a few ways. The first is the writer who composed it heard something from some uh, older generations and add in his own opinion without verify the contents. That is the first problem. The second problem is because the composer never really know the details. Thus, what he composed is up for interpretation by anybody. The third, of course, in the past 70 years or so, people left and right interpret what they think. So with this type of situations, you have a mess there. You have a mess, and the best way is to abandon the entire thing. If we look at it in the point of view of culture, education, and we want to start a clean, fresh volume in America and here on, changing the era. Because what the writing is is distortions and is a disaster. And of course, when I say that, I have to be responsible. And I'm going to share with you the details. Okay? Now, to present this today, like in the yesterday's presentations on the misconceptions of awareness and so forth, I myself is very careful that I look into the problem and provide the solution, not attacking anybody. Whatever past is past. Whatever in the future is the important thing. Past is, we don't want to waste time on the past. And as for the people who get into this, well, what can we say? They live in an era which is very little educations. We live in an era that we have very good educations and we get all informations. So we cannot attack the people and we cannot blame the people who screw it up because they don't think they are screwing up things. It's just because they lack of the understanding and it caused the entire thing. So you have somebody who is intentionally cause problem and somebody who is unintentionally, even though they have a good heart, they want to do good thing, but they cannot do it because their hand is tied. So I hope that this is clear, okay? What we want to look at is a better future, not the blaming on who screwed up in the past. A solution is needed, and the problem need to be clearly know what it is, as what I just mentioned. Today in Wing Chun, everybody think that they can interpret whatever they like, especially in the West, where they don't even understand what is the Chinese culture. Today, even Chinese, most Chinese don't understand what is Chinese culture in terms of the martial art classic, in terms of Buddha Dharma. They don't. So let's start on details so you know what it is. So when friend asked me, I just Google it up. So this is the Wing Chun kuit or Wing Chun song or writing, which is the most popular. Okay, the Chinese is using it left and right. Okay, from the beginning, I draw all those question marks to share with you what's going on. So here, the first thing he said that in Mandarin, he say 咏春绝技源于少林, meaning the ultimate art of Wing Chun is from Shaolin. And then you can see people say Wing Chun is from Southern Shaolin. Okay. And so I Google on the authors, the composer's writing, and here he said that Southern Shaolin Zen or Chan school. Okay, martial art and Zen is one. Wing Chun, 10 practice song. So now when here it say that Wing Chun is from Shaolin, it say Wing Chun is from Southern Shaolin. Is that true? It is completely not true. And if you say Wing Chun is from Southern Shaolin, that is exactly get into the track of many people put down Wing Chun. Please watch my video months ago when I make a Chinese video to tell all those grandmasters practically to not speak if you have no idea on what is going on. Wing Chun is from Song San Shaolin, as in the Retracting Wing Chun. We know where the short strike is from by riding. And only a few days ago, I released the spiritual dimension of Wing Chun. We know that it's from Ermei's Zhuang. Both are Buddhists, but Ermei and the Shaolin are different. The Song San Shaolin, the Shaolin short strike document provide the short strike, where the Ermei Zhuang provide the spiritual part, and then the internal meridian part. So again, in the uh, in the Retracting Wing Chun, you can see how the details it present there. Okay. Now also the Ermei part in the Wing Chun Inception. So we talk with evidence, historical evidence, technical evidence, pinpoint. We know that Wing Chun is not, it is offspring of Shaolin, Song San Shaolin. It is not completely Shaolin because there's a part of Ermei. They both are Buddhist art, and Wing Chun is never from Southern Shaolin. Okay, that's how clear we are today. Please watch my video on the Wing Chun, how the salutations and everything from the opera, the content from Shaolin, the content from Ermei, and then the spiritual part from Ermei. Okay. Now, so that's the first thing. You start already, it is incorrect. This is not based on evidence. This is based on some hearsays. The second thing here is say that 朝无虎鹤, 法无无形. 朝 meaning the move. There's no tiger or the crane. And then you say 法无无形. The methods, there's no five element. Okay. So the movement have no tiger or crane. The method do not have five elements. So somebody here is saying that, oh, Wing Chun is not imitating the animal. Well, there's a problem there in this writing. Here it said that the movement do not have tiger or crane shape, those kind of stuff. But here he said what? 细颈是蛇, okay? 发镜是猫, 巢形是鸡, okay? So he said that when you store your jing, it's like a snake, and then when you want to fa jing, it's like a cat, and then when you facing the shape, it's like a chicken, a rooster, right? Well, you just say here at the beginning, the movement have no animal type, and then here you use animal type to describe this thing. How could it be? Okay. If you look at the Shaolin have the five animal, the shape and the content they train. So does mean that this person who composed do not understand what is going on with the Shaolin and do not understand the technical content, and that's why I get into this loop. Okay. In one way, you say that there's no tiger, no crane, and the other day they say, well, there's a snake, and then there's a cat, and so forth. Now, that's about the 朝五虎鹤. Okay. movement do not have tiger or crane. And then here it said that 法无无形 method do not have the five elements. Again, he do not understand Chinese culture, the composer. Why? Since even in the Sun Tzu, the art of war, they use the five elements to describe different way of handling momentum. That is in the war of art of Sun Tzu. Momentum. How to handle momentum. And we know that General Qi Guang in his classic is using the idea of Sun Tzu of handling momentum. Now, the details of the handling of momentum is in my book here, Basic Wing Chun Art and Science. So here it tells you the Sun Tzu, the chapter 5 of Sun Tzu, there are 5 ways of handling momentum. The 5 ways of handling momentum, namely give birth, subdue, controlling, dissolving, and overpower. So, there is the 5 element. In any fighting, that will have to base on the 5 element if you want to talk about Chinese culture. Be it Sun Tzu or General Qi Guang's classic. Okay? Because that 5 element is how one element or one momentum transform to another momentum. How you using one momentum to give birth to another momentum, how do you subdue one momentum, how do you overpower another momentum. These are 5 elements. So, you know this is problem. The naming problem, the content problem. It means that one do not really understand Chinese culture properly. It's not based on Chinese history or classic culture, but in its personal idea. Now over here it said that 阴阳法力. Okay, the 阴阳法力. Yesterday I just showed everybody that the 阴阳法力. When you flip your hand, your arm like that, the exercise, you use the yin and yang side. If you writing about yin yang fa li, yin and yang generate power. Okay, yin yang fa li is yin and yang generate power. Yin yang fa li is yin and yang generate power. Then how come everybody for past 80 years you look at all the video, the picture, everything, everybody claim their hand like this? There's no yin yang fa li there. There's no yin and yang generate power, because yin and yang generate power, you have to be able to activate the yin side and the yang side. Okay. Now, continues on. This is what the very popular in the movie. Okay, you can watch in movie. It said that in Mandarin, 不用心意，只用精神. So in Chinese, it say do not use your mind and do not use your intention. Only use your focus or your spirit. So somebody here is interpreting that, okay, over here, interpreting saying that you don't use your mind to think, you don't use your heart, you use concentrations. Now you got a problem here. What do you mean that you don't use your mind? What do you mean you're just using focus? What do you mean that you don't use intention? Well, we know in the mind element, as in here, in this book again, okay, Basic Wing Chun Art and Science. In the mind element, there are four functions there: thinking, visualization, intention, and awareness. And yesterday I just shared with everybody, if you don't have the awareness, you are not going to aware what is going on. And if one do not aware of the yin and yang side of one's arm, what is one aware anyway? We always say Wing Chun need to sense your opponent. Well, if you don't even aware of your arm, how to use your arm, what are you going to do? How are you going to sense your opponent? So what this saying that do not use your mind, do not use your intention, using your spirit or using your focus is missing the point completely. Why? You don't have awareness. Well, awareness is the bottom line of the thing. If you don't aware of your body, what it can do, what it cannot do, what is it? You just do not be able to handle that thing. Or you not be able to sense. You don't know what it is. So again, this get into problem. Again, the composer do not understand what is going on in the mind element, particularly the mind element of the shooting top. That's why today you get all kinds of problem. Mind power. So what is mind power? Well, we always quote, not using your mind or your intention, or don't use your yi and use your spirit, everything. What are they? And somebody will say, oh, this mindful. So what is why mindful? What I can tell you is, mindful is what? Awareness. Okay? Mindful is not what people think. Mindful is awareness if you really study Buddhism properly and get the real training. Now, continue on. Here it says that 邪行愁念, meaning evil act and hatred intention or hatred mind. So somebody is translate here saying that when you face your opponent, you need to have evil act and hatred mind. In the Wing Chun, in the Restricting Wing Chun, this is exactly what the Shaolin writing. One must not have hatred in their mind or in their heart. What is written here is exactly opposite of what the Shaolin Classic. The Shaolin Classic do not want you to have hatred. Why? Because if you get hatred, you're going to influence your physiological state. And then your mind is not clear, your body is not handled properly. That is the Shaolin teaching. They know what is going on because those are enlightenment people. They're aware. They're aware that as soon as I have hatred, my heart will start pumping, my breathing is not going to go down to my lower abs, and my nervous system tense up, and my mind is no longer clear. The Buddhists know this. Why? They're aware. Because that is their bread and butter, that's their training. And here he said that 嘴不闭气, The mouth must not shut or hold breath. Here it says the mouth must not hold breath. Somebody translate it. You got a problem here. What do you mean that the mouth must not hold breath? The Shaolin writing saying that when you exhale, when you exhale, you must not empty your breathing once for all. And a whole bunch of other things. Why? Because they want to control the intra-abdominal pressure and the the breath. It's just like you look at the Western boxer. Nobody's going to one breath blow everything out. Open your mouth and blow everything out. They keep it closed. Some because of they use mouth guard. So the nose spray breath, or they even doing the but not blow together. And you have the holding there, and then when you exhale, spray out, all kinds of handling. So if you say that mouth do not hold breath, number one is not describing what is the thing one need to handle that, the breathing and the intra pressure. The second thing is this is open up for all kinds of interpretations. And yet it is not according to the human body nature. Look at the Western boxer, how they practice their breathing. Is it true that mouth do not uh, mouth must not holding or shut off the breathing? It's much more complicated than that. You look at the real Shaolin uh, Neigong or martial art Neigong or martial art Qigong, whatever you call it, where people have to play with their intra-abdominal pressures to stabilize their core and so forth. Like only 2 days ago, I just shared with you that when you get close, your intra-abdominal pressure is important because when you get close to two people, okay, you can take impact and so forth, so forth. So again, you know that this is not. It is really superficial stuff, and then it really show that the composer do not know how to handle this thing. Not like in the Shaolin writing, okay, or in the in Wing Chun Inception, you can see that the Shaolin writing, or in the Wing Chun Inception, where the may have all the synchronizations and handling, okay, and at the end here again it say that, okay, here it says 禅宗绝学皆在修身，肉身成佛，古今几人. It means that the ultimate study of Zen, Chan, Buddhism, or Buddha Dharma is to calculate one's body. You become Buddha with this flesh body. How many people in this world be able to achieve that? And then somebody will say here, oh, Wing Chun is from Southern Shaolin. It is the Zen martial art. You got a problem here. This is extremely superficial. The person never really go study or learn Zen to write that. Okay, so what is Zen? The bottom line of Zen is one have to know one's awareness, and based on that awareness, one develop the 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 the, the the in-depth of the Zen. If you don't have awareness, that's all. Okay? So with this, you can see the entire thing, it means the awareness. It do not have the proper attitude. You must not hate. Here in the Wing Chun writings that you have to hate. And then also the breathing, it doesn't have the content of what you should do. And then it doesn't talk about, like in Wing Chun, you see that nobody talk about the intra-abdominal pressure. And then on this yin and yang power generations, don't know about it. And then using the focus, and then not using the mind and thinking. So, and then there's no five element. No, what do you mean by five element? Five element is actually the ancient Chinese in martial arts or in the military art using to handle momentum. They just show that one lack of that in the writing. So this is what it is. And for me, I suggest us in United States, just discuss this thing. What we need to do is, if we want to say something, write something, cite something, find out where is the root. As that's why I put this. It's always Shaolin, how it linked to Qi Ji Guang, what does it mean, scientifically what it is, so that people know what it is, people can get there, and people can understand what they are getting into. So this is what need to be rectified there. Otherwise, you and I know there is no Wing Chun for the future. But if we do it in the scientific way, nobody can stop Wing Chun. Now, do you know that the Buddha Dharma is a scientific way? Zen is a scientific way. You look at the Buddha's teaching. Buddha said that this is this practice. If you practice this, you'll get this, get this, get this. You don't have to believe me, and I'm not going to use an axe to chase you around if you'll not listen to me or not buying to my word. You try it and see whether it is like that or not. Those are scientific stuff. So the scientific and Buddha Dharma, they are one, and it is you and me equal. It's not me that I'm Hendrik, I'm the expert, I know it all. No. I can write this book, but if you find out there's something wrong there, you can prove me by evidence, then I have to accept that, have to admit that. And I'm going to change it. Because that is the real world. That is the scientific way, that's the Buddha's way. Otherwise, we do not walk our talk. And that is a disaster is because you have hundreds of thousands, if you're not million people following one to run around. And like this kuit right now, this writing, as I just show you and tell you the issue there, the problem, and what is missed. It is out there already. It's in movie and so forth. What you know that one is shot in the movie, the entire thing. No. So this is what I like to share with you, and then get in another thing. In this movie, the Grandmaster, he said that you guys Wing Chun is the three type of X Tan Bong Fo. Is Wing Chun Tan Bong Fok? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. But it is a movie, and everybody talk about Wing Chun is Tan Bong Fok. Absolutely no. Why? There's evidence I can share with you. It is not Chinese culture to do things that way. It is somebody made it up. They think it is proper. They put in the movie, and then it brainwash everybody, and then it get into the state. Now you got a problem. Now again, somebody might ask me. So in Choi Lei Fat, Hong Sing Choi Lei Fat, people say that the Choi Lei Fat is so gua chat or so gua chat, sometimes called Jin. Is that true? Yes. Choi Lei Fat, the so gua chat, so gua chat, so gua or so gua Jin is valid. But for Wing Chun, it is invalid to say that Wing Chun is Han Bong Fo. Next time I'm going to share with you. And so I would like you guys to do one thing. Please mark yes and comment if you want me to continue on to present, to rectify things. Okay, because I'm not here to just put down this guy, put down that guy. I don't want that. I only do things if the general public like you guys really care, want to study and want to know the truth. So put your likes, please, and comment, please. Then I be able to continue on because otherwise it's like people thinking, I'm go crazy or not, or what, or am I going to put myself as a grandmaster or what, or start a new USA Wing Chun or not, or what? I'm not starting a new USA Wing Chun, but Wing Chun is in a new USA Wing Chun era because right now we have all the information. We can show the world what Wing Chun is. That is what USA Wing Chun is. And we do have the responsibility, to share the truth so that everybody improve.